Time for a new player to enter the local banking sector. TymeBank launched recently, claiming its fees are up to 50% cheaper than its competitors. It's South Africa's first digital-only bank, meaning it has no physical branches. Self-service stations have been rolled out across the country where clients can register or collect their cards. Head of Sales and Service at TymeBank, Cheslyn Jacobs, joins us now to discuss their launch and beyond. Good evening, sir. Thanks very much for your time. But are we really comparing apples with apples when we compare a digital bank that has no real physical, buildings from where to operate and, the traditional commercial banks that we're used to?
Yeah, what I think is important in that comparison for you is what a customer ends up having at the end of the day from a digital-only bank versus what you call the traditional bank. And what we offer customers is no different. We offer customers a transactional banking account with an embedded savings tool called GoalSave. And essentially what that gives you is the very same day-to-day banking functionality that any other bank account would give you for that matter.
But technology does go wrong. And even people, I remember, man, it took me a while to embrace digital banking. But even then, it was with the knowledge at the back of your mind, that when all else fails or something goes horribly wrong, there is that person I can walk up to, and chances are they will deal with mine.
100%. So we soft launched the bank, what we call soft launch, in November last year, and for the last 3 months kind of operated in a very soft launch phase. And what that period allowed us to do was to kind of find the kinks in the technology that you rightfully mentioned, and it's given us time to rectify some things we weren't necessarily happy with. Recently, as you mentioned, about 2 weeks ago, we officially launched the bank to the market, and we're in a space where we're comfortable the technology works the way it's supposed to work. Like you rightfully mentioned, is people still be hesitant. What we have done, though, is obviously we've partnered with Pick n Pay and Boxer, and they give us great presence across the country. So you'll find a TymeBank kiosk in about 600 of their stores across the country at the moment. More importantly, what we've also done is we've placed what we call ambassadors at least 500 of these kiosks. And the ambassadors' role initially is to assist customers through the process, purely because we think customers would first initially think, gee whiz, a bank, open it via a kiosk all on my own. That step may be too radical for most customers, but the ambassador helps us bridge that gap.
But then also, we're talking here about a country where internet penetration is still very low. People don't have access to as much access to technology as we are supposed to have. So how do you? Is that not going to be limiting even to you?
So as a customer, we obviously offer the online banking capability, so either internet banking or a bank app on the Android platform. Smartphone penetration in the country is growing steadily and actually quite aggressively. More and more it's growing faster. But more importantly, you don't have to use the online functionality. What the TymeBank kiosk inside this Pick n Pay and Boxer environments allow you to do is to become a TymeBank customer in under 5 minutes. And the end-to-end process, what a customer should end up with is a personalized Visa debit card at the end of it. And that little bank card allows you to transact using it in any ATM across the country, swiping it in any point-of-sale machine across the country, the same way any other bank card works. So for those customers who are prepared to go the online route, absolutely, that's available to them. But for customers who want to use the bank card in the same way they always have done in the past, purely by using an ATM swiping for whatever they want to purchase, they could use it in that manner. But again, as a digital-only bank, one of our big things, and from a purpose perspective as an organization, we're big on facilitating what we call financial inclusion. And internally, we've agreed one of our biggest jobs, we believe, is behavior change. And I think with the country becoming a little bit younger, our population having more access to information, that adoption's happening a lot quicker than we anticipated. So to date, when I left the office, we've got over 120,000 customers already on our platform, and they're responding in ways that even we had expected this early on.
Do you believe that, your entry spells the end of the traditional banks as we know them, or are you simply adding on to something that's going to be there still?
So the existing banks are massive institutions in this country. There's no way we'll sit here and discount what they've done for the country. Banks play massively important roles in people's lives. But like in anything, I think consumers need choice, and I think by us entering the market, by the banks that we're anticipating to launch later this year as well, dominated by very few players, and all over the world it's a much more competitive environment. And I think with choice, with the ability to add value to customers' lives, our jobs as financial institutions then become how do we give the customers as much value as we possibly can, and when the customer makes a decision, ideally you want to be first in line.
And you still be able to make money for your shareholders.
Absolutely.
That's what we're going to leave. Thanks very much.
Thanks so much.